Hey there, Gamer Oni here. Today we're gonna do a little guide about War Machine, which he's a very awesome bot, especially in the first parts of the game. I mean when you start it. And it will have a great offer. So regardless, are you ultimately free to play player or are you willing to spend something? I think the offer is like a £1 or 99 cents or something like that. So this is the money you can easily get of any game rewarding you for playing very easily. So highly recommend to get that bot, and practically without that bot you're gonna have no life in later stages, just before you're gonna get your S class, first bot of S class. All right, so in this guide, guys, we're gonna talk a little bit about the skills set of that robot. Let's call him bot to make it easier. So two sets of skills I would like you to focus on are the electromagnetic coils, which this is like a bonus weapon of this bot. I'm sure you've noticed that every bot has their special weapon, bonus weapon or super weapon, giving to that bot particular extra power-ups, which won't work on any other bot. So for this one, it's the electromagnetic coils. And it's pretty fun, especially in the story time. I meant story mode, which I think this is. Oh, no, we're not. I think we're actually in story mode right now. I wasn't paying attention. I'm just doing commentary to content I've recorded previously. Okay, now the thing in terms of coils, electromagnetic coil. I think there are two paths to go with the bonuses. You'll notice at some point that depending what you choose initially from the first power-ups on the beginning of each level, that will kind of define what kind of power-ups the game will give you later on. It's a little bit luck oriented, but you wanna initially within the first 5-6 upgrades decide which way you wanna go. It will be the coils or the guns for this particular bot. Yeah, I'm just checking my notes. I've made notes to make sure that I'm talking about all important things. So in terms of boosting the guns, the game will offer you boosting left side and right side, I think, by additional 2 guns to each. And then eventually you're gonna get like a gold power-ups, like those ones were blue. But then you're gonna get gold ones, which will tell you that if the guns are even on both sides, it will give you additional 2 guns each. So ultimately you're gonna have 10 guns on this bot rather than 2 like I have particularly right now in this moment. Now initially, before you up your weapons, I would say that you wanna prioritize those 2 skills over everything else. And then when you build them up to like 6 out of 8 or 8 out of 8, that's only when you wanna focus on building your other weapons, upgrading, due to the fact that the bot is much more powerful than the weapons initially in the initial stages of the upgrades. So later on, when you start getting your first S-class bot, which will be initially much weaker than this, that's when is the time when you really kind of start considering boosting the S-class and building your weapons. That's the moment when they will really become powerful. Or unless you're a spender and you just buy everything, and what I just said took you approximately 1 to 2 days, and now you're just ruling the game. Also, this bot, as the only bot from them all, will have a skill called Lightning Storm, which the pilot completely boosts. And I think, I don't remember, is it the pilot decides that you actually have it, or it just boosts, and the skill comes from the guns. I would have to check that if somebody really cares, or you can check that for yourself as well. I don't think that's relevant. Anyway, that's the sort of lightning patches you see surrounding on the floor. Now, depending from the progression on your pilot development, you're gonna have either 4 or 6. I think I got 6 recently when I upped that pilot, but I don't really play that bot anymore due to the fact that I'm a little bit on high level right now with my S classes. So this bot generally, ultimately, if you're looking on playing the game longer, for like 6-12 months, maybe even longer, you wanna dump all your resources to this bot. The other bots are completely irrelevant. This bot is a killer, especially if you wear all your accessories and the strongest weapons on it. And depending from your gameplay, I would suggest to actually keep distance. There are weapons which will allow you easily to do like a full contact setup, which means that you will allow the mobs to come very, very close to you in order to smash them. But in this game, especially in the higher levels, I will recommend actually to work from the distance point of view. And just while we're here, the first weapon which will really make sense for you is the Sogan, which is the one on the left here, when you see on the screen. Due to the fact that unless you're like a crazy spender, this is the only weapon which actually really generates a massive damage on the bosses, and especially on the alliance boss as well, when you have that, you know, in your alliance section, that guy, in order to create big damage, especially when you're on lower levels initially and you're not spending. And just remember to take the slow buzz power up, because that's the slow one, and then you want to add speed to the rotation of that disc, and that when it generates crazy amount of damage, and then multiply that by, I think you can do 6 or 7 discs. Yeah, that's when you're a killer. Anyway, coming back to War Machine. All right, 2 power-ups I really want you to pay attention and totally prioritize is the rate of fire and the damage to the bot. Okay, when you kill a boss mid-section of the normal story mode, you will get like a special boost for the weapons you have currently developed the most. So one top, the most important one, let me rephrase what I was trying to say, is to increase the size of the bus so flying thingy, the disc with the spikes, you know, to make it bigger, and it generates much more damage. Ultimately, you want to get 150% of the damage to the bot, because that's when the guns are doing really crazy things. And yeah, just prioritize the bot initially, like I said, before you boost your weapons to a decent level. You'll notice, because every single stage allows you to see the damage you're creating, so you'll notice how much more advantage in damage the bot creates over any guns, any weapons you're wearing. And yeah, it's a beast of the bot initially, and I'm telling you, if you don't have it, get it. You will see how much your game will change in the game, your gameplay. Anyway, I think I covered roughly all of the things. One of the things you might notice, I'm running around the corners here all the time or standing. It's just purely because I'm lazy and I don't want to really run around and collect experience. And if you stand in the corner, all the mobs are coming to you, and then every now and then you pop out, collect the X, up your weapons, and move on with your life to a happy place, you know. Anyway, I hope I've answered your questions. If you have any more questions, or you want me to be more specific in my next video, please drop a comment. If you haven't subscribed, it's just, you know, I'm not gonna say anything. Just, you wanna see more, hit that button. If you don't wanna, don't. The algorithm may be nice to you, or karma will get you, and I'm just gonna flood your wall with my amazing content. Anyway, have a good one. I'm out of here. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.